Well, this is becoming a bit of a problem now, isn't it? As I'm sure some of you guys are going to be aware because I've mentioned it on almost all of my New World videos, I've been eagerly anticipating the free server transfers that Amazon Game Studios has promised us. Now, there are several reasons why I want the transfer out of my servers. One of them was initially the queue problems, even though my server no longer has huge queues. But there are other reasons, such as I've had friends that have started playing the game since I began, and initially when they were about to roll their character, they were asking me, should I create on your server because you're always complaining about these massive queues that you have? And I said, no, you shouldn't create a character on my server because Amazon Game Studios is going to be giving us free server transfers. So, next week we're all going to be able to, move to a different server together. So just create your character on any low population server. As a matter of fact, these were Amazon Game Studios' own words. They said, we just want to get people playing the game right now so that you can have your starting experience, and then you're going to be able to join a different server with your friends. So obviously, I want to not only move out of my server, but to move into a different server with a bunch of people that started playing the game after the launch day. As a matter of fact, there are a lot of you guys in the comment section that have expressed interest in wanting to join the same server that I do so that we can kind of like create a company together and just have a good time. And that is something that I've really wanted to do because, I'm having a lot of fun with the game, but there's no denying that this game is way more fun if you're playing it with friends. Just like the other night, due to the fact that I couldn't get into my server because of queues, this was a couple of days ago, I just decided to roll an alt on Kegrin's server, and we had a blast just running through the world. The two of us, we could actually do PvP because even if there were gang squads, there was at least two of us, which was better than just me being solo and there's like gang squads all over the friggin' place. There's at least a bit more of a fighting chance. And we were able to do some fun stuff together. And obviously, this game is just way more fun when you're playing with your friends. Now, a lot of people have taken Amazon at their word, and they were like, hey, you said we were going to be getting server transfers this week. This is what you said. We didn't ask you. You said this. You said this week, server transfers are going to be coming, and you guys are going to be able to join the same servers as your friends and all of that stuff. But now it's a little bit different. And unlike the situation that I reported on previously where I memed on it a little bit with the whole fact that, hey, the servers don't have queues anymore, game is dead. That was a meme. That was a joke, obviously. Most people got it. A lot of people didn't. Why am I not surprised? But anyway, that was not like a huge issue. If anything, it was an improvement because we didn't have as huge queues as we used to have. Now this, on the other hand, is actually something that I consider to be a serious problem because just like me, there's going to be a lot of people that want to join their friends. They've been waiting the chance to join their friends. And now Amazon is kicking the can down the road, and let's look at their track record. They've delayed this game, 2-3 times? And now we're looking at a feature that should have been done on release. Let's be completely honest here. Should have been done on release. Like, I get it. I love the game. I've been having a blast with the game. I've done my 2 opinion videos on it already if you're curious to know more about it. Point in fact, I'm really enjoying my time with the game. But this is a serious problem. The fact that you did not develop a server transfer feature before you even release this game shows that you are a little bit out of touch with, current MMOs, okay? Anyway, here's what they had to say. New World status update. During our testing, we uncovered some edge cases where the transfer experience does not meet our standards for release. In the meantime, please read up on the link for how character transfers will work once it is ready to go live. Now, we're going to be going into this post and we're going to be reading the post. But before we do, what exactly does this mean the transfer experience does not meet our standards for release? Does the player end up in a random world? Does the player's character explode? Does he become horribly deformed? Do you lose your house? Do you lose your inventory? Do you lose gold? These are things that I'm very much concerned with because at this point, I don't even know how many hours I'm into my character. I'm probably above 100 hours, I would imagine. So it's any progress that you steal from me at this time is going to be a significant problem. So I get it. You want to make sure that this thing is working properly. But my question is, why wasn't it working properly day one? You delayed this game so much. How could you not have, a server transfer feature? I'm sorry. I'm just really pissed off about this because I was expecting this week to be able to transfer and to have more fun. But it looks like I'll be level 60 before I actually get to play with my friends. It's a little bit of a problem. So we actually have a reply here from Asmongold. indicating I can't move my character to a full world. The only reason I rolled on a low population server was because I was promised I could transfer to play with friends later. I feel like I got baited into playing on a dead server and now I'm stuck there. And then there's a reply to that. But there was another post that I wanted to check up on. Ethan Price here saying, so you guys straight up lied. The first pick you said any server. The second was more vague but would imply one could join friend servers later. Wondering why people are so mad. Hope this helps. All regions now live. It's unbelievable 24 hours. Yeah, this was the first message that they posted. Our sole focus right now, yeah, this is what I was saying. Our sole focus right now is to get everyone logging in and playing quickly to ensure everyone can find an open world now while also finding a home and a tournament with their community long term. We'll offer an opportunity in the next 2 weeks for all players to relocate their characters to a new server of their choice at no cost. We appreciate your patience. So yeah, this is what they said. The wording is unclear. Can we transfer to existing servers or will we be creating new ones we have to choose from? You'll be able to move your character to any servers that are available at the time we make transfers available. We hope that helps. You got server there is character creation disabled. We are working hard on a feature that will allow you to transfer your characters to a different server. So if you choose one now, just get up and playing. You can make a different choice later to play on a server with your friends. It's like, I'm not liking the picture that this is painting. So let's take a look at their forum thread here. Greetings, adventurers. Our team has been working extremely hard to get this feature tested in a place where we are confident it will perform exactly as intended. This should have been a release feature. This is a basic feature of any MMO at this point, particularly an MMO that is going to launch with like, how many servers are we at now? 600. Ridiculous amounts of servers, and there's very small server caps. That is the problem. Now I understand because, you know, the way that the game plays, it's an action combat, it's huge open world, all that stuff. I can understand that limit, but this was one of my complaints when I talked about New World, is like, I really don't like the fact that they still have this archaic server structure of communities being stranded on different servers, and this is going to be a serious problem. Wouldn't you know it? That has become a serious problem. While we want everyone to find their long-term home in a tournament as soon as possible, we also want to ensure that the process is seamless and ready for everyone to use. During our testing, we uncovered some edge cases where the transfer experience does not meet our standards for release. What does that mean? This means that we will be taking some extra time to get these issues resolved before we feel comfortable giving everyone their free server transfer token. So we're only going to be getting one server transfer token. If you transfer to a server and it turns out that server is a ghost town, well, too bad. You better do your research ahead of time. I'm going to be looking thoroughly at the newworldstatus.com website to make sure that the server that I go to, even though it's not going to be super low pop, not going to be super high pop, I'm going to have to do some serious, you know, investigative work to figure out where I'm going to be transferring. How do I transfer my character? You need to log into your character, which means waiting in any applicable queues. Why? The problem right now for a lot, I mean, less people now, but the problem for some people is still the massive queues. So in order for them to transfer their character, they still need to wait in a queue. Why? Why do they have to wait in the queue? Why can't you just, because I know the reason. If you go to the menus, the store menu is not on the game's main menu. The store is in game itself. So you have to actually log into your server to get to the store menu. Just give us a store menu outside of the server. Why would you have people wait in queues? Doesn't make any sense. Go to the in-game store. There will be a new tab to claim your character transfer token. You need to leave your company. That's to be expected. You need to remove any active trading posts to sell orders and buy orders. I mean, if you were to move characters in World of Warcraft or Final Fantasy XIV, you would have to do the same. Get rid of all things that are in the market. Get rid of all mail. All of that stuff. You have to do that. Your character must be located in the sanctuary, such as a settlement or as an outpost. What comes with me when I transfer? You keep all character progression, level, weapon, mastery titles, etc. You keep your faction alliance in progress. You keep your inventory and storage. You keep all of your currency. You keep your houses. Now, this was something that I was curious about. I wasn't sure if you'd be able to keep your house. But do keep in mind, even though you keep your house, your tax situation might change because, you know, say, like, I have a house in Cutlass Keys. If I go to a server where Cutlass Keys is being taxed out the ass, then I'm going to be paying for that tax. You will keep all class progress? Well, I would expect so. What does not transfer with my character? Your company membership? Duh. Active trading, post, sell orders? Yep. Your friends list is world-specific and will not transfer. See, this is a part of the problem. Everything is world-specific. It's such an archaic server structure, and I get it because there's territory, combat, and all of that stuff. I still feel there had to have been a more intelligent way of handling that. Where can I move my character to? You can move your character to any world in your region except cannot move your character to a full world. even though they earlier said you can move your character to any world. We just went over this in the Twitter post. You cannot move your character to a world in maintenance. Well, that makes sense. You cannot move your character to a world that you have an existent character in already. So I hope you haven't been playing an alt that you want to keep in a, in a server that you want to move your character to. And by the way, this is a world set. So you know how there's those weird names, Vanaheim, Omni, something, Vanaheim, Phi, whatever? That is what they're talking about when they're talking about these world sets. So pay attention to that. You might have to delete a character if you already have one in there. Will there be opportunities to transfer again if I choose the wrong world? The world my friends choose filled up, or I regret choosing the world I transferred to? Transferring again will require an additional token. This is the usual conversation of like, hey man, the first one's for free, the second one's gonna cost you. No, but seriously, I wouldn't have expected to be able to just like server transfer willy-nilly because they didn't prepare for this. Our team will continue monitoring world populations, queue times, and will evaluate the need for an additional wave of server transfer tokens to be given out for free. After we are sure players have had plenty of time to find the right server for them, we will later make server transfer tokens available for purchase in the store. We'll give notice ahead of time when tokens are changing to a paid service. We know that server transfers are highly anticipated. Well, that is a euphemism, and we are working diligently to provide the best possible experience to you. We appreciate your patience and anticipate transfers will be available next week. Sounds like I've heard this one before. Every applicable resource has been working on this and will continue until it is done at quality. See, this is another problem right here, because you see, this is not the only problem that New World is facing. Now, different players are playing New World at different speeds. I myself, it's going to take me a long time to get to 60. I've talked about this. I've been enjoying the game at a different pace than most people have. Just today, I ran across, like, I don't know, the 20 level 60s as I was just, like, playing in Cutlass Keys, which makes me wonder what the hell are, like, a bunch of level 60s doing in a level... What is the keys? The keys is, like, 25 to 35 or something like that. What are you doing here? What is going on? Like, go to your high-level areas. Like, Jesus Christ. But anyway, yeah, it's like people are playing the game at a different pace. And look, you play the game however the hell you feel like it. I'm going to play the game however the hell I feel like it. So it's going to take me a while to get to 60. That's the point that I'm trying to make. But a lot of players are already there. And if every applicable resource has been working on figuring out how to server transfer, where is the team that is working on the next batch of content? See, that's the problem right there, because for me, this is not a problem, but at the end of the day, MMOs work on a critical mass. And this is actually something that Upper Echelon talked about in a video recently. I'm going to link that in the description if you guys should definitely check that out, because Upper Echelon has been going hardcore on the game, and he's already at level 60. He's already doing end game, and he has a lot of stuff to talk about. So I would really advise you guys go check that video out, even though, Upper Echelon is like a million times bigger than me, so most likely you've already seen it. Just in case you haven't seen it, though, like I said, I'll link it in the description so that you guys check it out and see his opinion on it, because it is, someone who is at end game, and due to watching that video, it did make me think, okay, so some people are already like, we want more stuff to do. There needs to be different things, and there needs to be maybe adjustments in the cadence of how the faction wars are taking place, because he's actually saying that people are getting burned out of doing faction wars. So they need to have a team also analyzing this type of stuff. How often are faction wars occurring? Is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? Because if there's a war every 5 minutes, I mean, obviously I'm exaggerating here, but if there's a war every 5 minutes, it's going to become a problem, because people do have to organize this. It's an event. You have to organize all of this stuff. So they need to be monitoring all of that end game action. They need to be working on new content, because I've said in videos with Brian and whatnot that this game is going to live or die by how consistent they can be at delivering new content. And if you've spent like a whole week working on something as simple as moving database fields from one place to the next, because that's essentially what it is. Your character is like a database entry somewhere in their servers, and they just want to move from that database to a different database. It should be a super straightforward thing. It should not be complicated at all. And the fact that you spent 1 week working on this, weren't able to get it done, and you are now telling me that every resource is working on this feature. And now I'm wondering, who's working on content?